Ladies, we're back again with another real one for you because this is where we're keeping it real. And today we're talking about the backlash. And let me tell you, the backlash is real. Have you ever noticed something? The moment you start healing, the moment you start resting, the moment you stop solving everybody's problems, suddenly you're the bad guy. The selfish one, the cold one, the one who changed. And there's nothing wrong with changing, but the loudest backlash, sometimes it comes from the very people you gave your whole life to. Today we're talking about something nobody prepares mothers for. What happens when you stop overgiving and your adult kids don't like it. And let me tell you something. If you can get through this, you can get through any other backlash. So, the backlash, like I said, it's real. It's emotional and it's deeply psychological. Let's talk about the nervous system shock when family roles change. Because families aren't just relationships, they're systems. And in every family system, people unconsciously take on roles. The fixer, the responsible one, the peacekeeper, the dependent one, the problem child, the emotional caretaker. For years, maybe decades, you were the over-functioner. You anticipated needs, you solved problems before they exploded, you absorbed stress so others wouldn't have to. Your nervous system became the regulator for the entire family. So imagine, when you start healing, when you stop jumping in, when you pause before rescuing, that whole system goes into shock because the emotional thermostat just flipped. Psychologists call this homeostasis. Families resist change, even healthy change, because the old pattern feels familiar. So when you get healthier, it doesn't feel safe to them. It feels destabilizing. You're changing the whole dynamic. When adult kids say you've changed, they are not wrong. You have changed. But what they often mean is you stopped enabling the version of me that depended on you. Let's translate some common lines. You used to help me equals you used to remove consequences for me. You don't care like you used to equals you don't overfunction for me anymore. You're being selfish equals you're prioritizing yourself for the first time. This is not because they're evil. It's because their nervous system was used to being cushioned. And now they have to feel their own discomfort. That's growth. But growth rarely feels good at first. You remember when you went to school, if you were in college, taking those classes, growth didn't feel good taking that test, but it felt good after you passed, didn't it? But you had to go through the growing pains. Let's talk about some manipulation tactics that will definitely show up when you change. When the system is disrupted, people try to pull you back into your old role. Oh, yes, they do. And it often comes dressed as emotion. Here are common tactics some moms over 40 report. And yes, you see this all over Reddit, parenting, and family forums. The first one is guilt. You're all I have. After everything I've been through, I guess I just can't rely on you anymore. Guilt is the hook that kept you over functioning for years. Second, you have blame. If you had helped me, this wouldn't have happened. You're the reason I'm struggling. This is emotional outsourcing. They're trying to put their responsibility, bam, right back in your lap. 3 is the victim role. Nobody helps me. Everyone abandons me. You're just like everyone else. This triggers your rescuer wound. Because remember, you like to rescue people. You were over functioning because you never wanted to be like everyone else. 4, anger or disrespect. This one hits hard. Yelling, silent treatment, name calling, threats of cutting you off. Why? Because anger is a protest emotion. It shows up when someone feels loss of control, and they did lose control, by the way. They lost control over you. And this hurts really deeply for moms. Here's the part nobody says out loud. When your child is mad at you for setting boundaries, it hits your inner child too. Because many of you were raised to believe good moms sacrifice everything. Good moms are always available. Good moms don't have needs. So when your child reacts badly, it doesn't just feel like conflict. It feels like, I failed as a mother. But psychology tells us something different. Children, even adult children, don't learn boundaries from what we say. No, no, no. They learn from what we model. If you never model self-respect, they don't learn how to respect you or themselves, for that matter. Now, here's the part you want to hear. How are you going to hold boundaries without escalating drama? Because I'm sure some of you out there have seen some drama. This is where healing becomes practice, because boundaries are not about controlling them. They're about regulating yourself. You want to use calm, repeatable language. I love you, but I'm not able to do that. I believe you can handle this. I'm here to support you emotionally, not fix it. No lectures, no justifying, and no defending. Over-explaining always invites debate. We are not here for debate. Calm repetition builds clarity. I said what I said, and I mean what I said. Period. If they're escalated and you get pulled into panic or guilt, you're back in the old role. So at this point, you want to regulate your nervous system. Pause, take a deep breath, and slow your voice. You are not responsible for regulating another adult's emotion. So you don't want to get pulled back into that old role, because once they pull you back in, boom, they got you. Now, you want to expect the pushback. Backlash doesn't mean your boundary is wrong. It means it's new and they don't like it. A new boundary often feels like rejection to someone used to unlimited access. When you put up boundaries, you are now limiting access to protect your peace. And that is self-love. Now, here's a sassy truth moment for you ladies. You're not becoming a bad mother. You are becoming a mother who has a self. And for some people, that's threatening, because they liked you better when you were exhausted and available. But healthy love includes limits. And that's not just with your kids, that's with everyone. And limits are what teach adults how to stand on their own. If your adult child is upset because you stopped overgiving, it doesn't mean the relationship is doomed. It means the relationship is evolving. You can still love them deeply without losing yourself completely. And sometimes the greatest act of love is letting someone feel the weight of their own life. As always, I always suggest getting therapy to help you through this process. I want you to tell me in the comments, have you ever been told you've changed when you started setting boundaries? And did it make you question yourself? Because you're not alone. There are many mothers out there. And if you drop your comments, other mothers will see that they're not alone. This is what healing looks like in real families. Messy, emotional, but absolutely necessary. And you are allowed to grow, even if everyone doesn't clap for you while you do it. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode and you got something out of it. Share it with someone else you think might need to hear this message, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.